Hello, my name is Theo Plath and you're listening to Legends of Reed.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Legends of Reed. I'm your host, Joanne Sukumaran, a bassoonist from Singapore. So nice to have you here with us today, Theo.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, welcome. So how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. I have a free week in my orchestra and so I'm rather relaxed these days, so all fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. So to begin with, could you tell us how you started to play the bassoon?
Yes, sure. So it was a bit of a coincidence that it became the bassoon. I just went to the music school of my town where my father used to be a cello teacher. And I went through all the rooms and tried all the instruments. And then, something made me love it immediately. And then, that was it.
Oh, okay. So there was just an instant attraction. Okay.
Yes, definitely. I just tried it out and somehow it worked. And I enjoyed the feeling of playing it and the sound. And then I wanted to do it.
Okay, so that's a very nice story. So I found out about you through your album Lost Times, and also you released a very popular video, the Paganini Caprice No. 5, which made a lot of impact, drew a lot of attention. So it seems that you have chosen to play a lot of string repertoire, a lot of violin works. Why is that so? Is there a particular reason?
I mean, it has a bit of two reasons. The first is that I just love music in general and not only bassoon music, but all music. And for me, there is, at least in the solo repertoire, a little gap in the bassoon repertoire. And the Impressionism, in the time of the Debussy sonata, also in the romantic area, of course, we have the fantastic Saint-Saëns sonata, but like these big romantic sonatas we don't have in the bassoon repertoire. And I always wanted to play pieces like this, and especially the Franck sonata, I love it, and I think many people love it because it's just a wonderful piece. And so I always was very open to transcribe different pieces from different instruments. And why the violin repertoire? Because my wife is a violinist, so I was, of course, a bit more connected to the violin repertoire, especially. And so I just knew it quite well. Of course, the Franck sonata, also the Paganini Caprice, the No. 5 Caprice. To be honest, my wife practiced it during her studies, and I thought, I want to play it as well. And that's how it happened. And with the Debussy Violin Sonata, which is on the Lost Times album, it's a bit different because I had some pieces in mind I wanted to put on this album. This were the Franck Sonata, the Saint-Saëns original bassoon sonata, and the 3 pieces of Nadia Boulanger, and I was missing one piece, and I knew I wanted to do something, preferably from Debussy, something from the Impressionism, and then I had a look, which piece to choose, and of course at first sight I thought the cello sonata would be more suitable because it has more the range of the bassoon, of course. And then I had a look at the pieces, and I had the impression that how Debussy uses the different registers of the cello, and it didn't really, for my taste, suit to the bassoon, and the violin sonata just was much more suitable for what can the bassoon do in which register. And of course I put everything 1 octave at least down, but within this range I think it's very bassoonish, this violin sonata.
Yeah, I was listening to it, I think, when I was traveling in the train, and I thought it was really inspiring because the colors that you really brings out by the bassoon line, and I really like the boulanger. That was very nice also.
And that's great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. What was the feedback from your family? Because you said your father was a cellist and your wife is a violinist. Did they give some feedback when they listened to it?
I mean, in the end, I think they really like the CD. But it was very good to have them on the way to the finished transcriptions, because I always knew that they have the home string view to the sonatas, and it was good that I could ask them, like, what do you think, which approach to which place is best? For example, in the Debussy violin sonata, there are some places with very fast tremolo, and at first I wanted to play it like it's written there, and look for some fingerings where with which I could do exactly what was written. And the practice it was really hard. And at one point I asked my wife, what do you think? Is it a good idea? And she said no. Look for something else in the technique. And then in the end I played with flutter tongue, or I don't know how you call it in English, but
flutter tongue. Flutter tongue. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to do the tremolo.
Yeah. So it was good to have them as a reassurance that I don't go completely
out
of the music and out of the tradition, and also just to be able to ask them if they think that I'm on the right way with the transcription. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that would be they are like a good sounding board, right?
Always, not just with the transcriptions.
Because I think I was looking at the Debussy, and it seems that just from the score, it seems quite straightforward. But of course, when you listen to the recordings out there, there's a certain rubato that string players use.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that we need to be aware of here. Yeah. And I think you said that you recorded the Paganini during the pandemic. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, this was a project I was working on for many years, but it took me quite a few hours of practicing to come to this point. And I mean, during COVID, of course, there was a lot of time. And I thought, okay, if I can finish this project and go to a recording, then if not now, then never. And so I just did it then.
So it was the perfect time to record this. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I remember when I was watching it that you were playing for memory and using circular breathing, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Do you have some tips for us how to do circular breathing? Do you have some tips to practice that?
I mean, I just can tell you how I learned it. So, to do one step after the other. So first, learn to do this without doing anything with your lungs, and then at the same time breathing through the nose.
Okay.
Doing this, and then mixing it all up and breathing, and then to find the right way to go into. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot of just trying out, and at some point it all settles itself a bit up. Yeah, like it's if you can if you can move your ears, at some point you find out how to do it, and then you can do it. I think it's yeah.
Okay. Because some people use the straw, right, in the water.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way, of course, to control if you have a good flow in your air. Yeah, but I think you don't necessarily need the straw.
Okay. Okay, so step by step. Yeah.
I would say step by step. Yeah.
Step by step. Okay, great. Moving on. Yeah, I think that you're one of the brightest stars and really inspiring for the bassoon community. How do you stay motivated and focus on playing on such a high level?
But I feel that maybe the hardest or what you want to achieve is that you come as close to your own imagination of playing as possible, and I think that's a never-ending process. That when you have achieved one step and or if you work on one thing and then hopefully at some point you can do it, then you will find the next thing you can work on. And I'm very glad and thankful that I had a teacher who always, not pushed me, because I never felt pushed, but like he brought me to the next level. And if I could do one thing, he already had another thing in mind. Yeah, okay, and now look for this. And so I think I tried to keep this up, not having the feeling of, I need to work, but more this, okay, what else, or what else could there be? And normally I always find something what I think could be even nicer or smoother or whatever. And of course we have many recordings in our orchestra in Frankfurt and all the live streams, and so it's very easy to also for me to listen to recordings of myself. And it's so I always find new things to work on, and that's what I enjoy.
Okay. I feel there's quite a similarity between musicians and athletes, like sporting athletes. Have you ever faced like a low moment, a slump? Or how do you come out of this low moment? Or you never experienced that before?
Yeah, I mean, I did experience times where I wasn't motivated. For example, some couple of years ago, or when I really started to, in the very beginning, when I did bigger competitions, it went very well, and I kind of always got first or second prize. And of course, there is a moment when not everything is working, and after experiencing this
Plateau?
of always winning, always first prizes, then okay, of course this is of a damper, and it helped me then to think of what do I really, what for do I do it? Do I do it for the prizes? Of course not, because I do it because I love music and I enjoy playing the bassoon. And this was, I think, very helpful to me to think, okay, what's the core of my intention? And of course, that's the bassoon, and you never lose that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the internal work rather than external validation.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. Oh, that's a very good one to think about. Do you have a favorite composer?
That's very hard. Maybe if you would have asked me 15 years ago, I would have said to you like Jolivet, because I love the Jolivet concerto. I mean, I still love the Jolivet concerto, but I love the music of Bach. I love all the Mahler symphonies. I love Mozart. It's too hard to choose, but
Too hard.
I think if I would have to spend my life with only one, maybe it would be Bach then.
Oh, Bach. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say to Bach if you could write him a message?
Oh, good question. Well, I think first I would say, I would ask, how do you do? and then I would ask, how do you do? So how do you write this music? Or do you maybe I would be interested if he feels that he is doing something special, because it's very easy afterwards to say, yeah, this music is the world and it's genius and everything. And I would be interested if a person like Bach, if he feels that his music is something different than most music which was ever composed, or if it's just music for him.
Okay. So in a sense, what was his intention? Is it?
Yes, and like how would such a person as Bach see himself? Like, does he, like, if we compare to Bach to other, I mean, also good, but maybe not so genius Baroque composers, like, does he know that his music is so deep and so, yes, so deep that people can spend an entire life on it and it will be played 300 years after his death? Or is he just doing as good as he can and not really does he know how good he is?
Wow. I wouldn't know the answer to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah. Oh, okay.
me
Yeah.
neither. So, but I
Yeah.
would be interested in this.
Yeah. I believe that he only gained success after he passed away, right? I think he was not as recognized and he was still living, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he had this position in Leipzig, but only as he was in third place for this. So there were two people before him who got the top choice, and he was only in third place. And I mean, I think he had his admirers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Compared to now, I think.
yeah, compared to now, if of course, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit like Van Gogh also, I think the same. Yeah. Okay. So that was quite interesting. You also released another album called Balkan Discoveries, which was remarkably different from Lost Times, completely different direction. So could you tell us why you chose to record this repertoire and what was the inspiration behind it?
And so the Balkan Discoveries, the whole repertoire and the whole concept for the disc was made by the pianist of the album, Oliver Trindl. And he is someone who is always searching for lost repertoire. And he recorded already countless CDs. Really, it's unbelievable. I can't tell you how many, because it's like, yeah, 50, 60, really a lot of CDs. And he's always looking for this unknown or forgotten composers who wrote really nice pieces. And I was working with him on another CD, on another recording, with a wind quintet or wind with piano quintet of Josef Labor, which is released as well by now. And afterwards, he sent me an email and said, "Hey Theo, I have this big stack of pieces for bassoon and piano from the Balkan region, not recorded. Do you want to do it?" And I said, yes, of course. And we met and we went through this whole stack like a half a night and played it all first view, because yeah, we couldn't listen to any recordings how these pieces are because there are no recordings. And then we find I think a nice selection or CD, and this is how it happens. How it happened. Yeah.
I see. Wow. So it was actually the pianist's idea.
It
Oh,
was the
okay.
pianist's idea, yeah, and so his project, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that's quite fantastic. Like to find something new, right? Because I think a lot of pieces have been over-recorded, right? I think.
Absolutely, and I mean, I found it really amazing that for an instrument like the bassoon with a rather narrow repertoire, where we also play pieces of, let's say, lesser known composers, that he was able to find like 2.5 or 3 hours playing time pieces that nobody knew before. Yeah.
Wow. So even he was like like a personal professor.
Yeah, I mean, I sent this CD, of course, also to Dag Jensen, to my teacher, and I think most of the pieces he didn't know as well. Yeah. And maybe as we're at the program of the CD, maybe I can add that you will find as well two modern pieces on the album. So most of the pieces are written between 1900 and 1900, and we wanted to have also two contemporary pieces on it. So to also have the connection to today, and so we have two pieces on it by modern composers. One from Turkish composer Fasil Say, a piece which was written, quite by coincidence just 4 years ago. So it's also quite new. The other one of a Greek composer, Konstantia Gursi, we commissioned for this CD.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a great addition to the repertoire. Were you planning to release another album, or are you recording more music? Yeah.
There are actually a few in the pipelines, yes. So in June, there will be released a double CD with all the Zelenka trio sonatas, combined with contemporary pieces by a Chinese-American composer, Tonya Ko. So that's the big project for June. And I recorded another album which has more pieces of film composers on it. For example, the bassoon concertos of John Williams and Nino Rota, which you can also find on YouTube, the recordings with my orchestra. And there will be a few other pieces on the CD as well, but all around film composers. And yeah, this is going to be released hopefully soon.
That's quite exciting. There's a lot of things coming up. Yeah, lined up. Yeah, great. I also know that you play a lot of chamber music, right? And I read that you worked with violinist Vilde Frang, right? And late pianist Lars Vogt. What was it like working with them?
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're really like, of course it's an amazing experience to play with such fantastic musicians. And for me it was, or still is, very special when I play with people of this, which are so fine musicians, that I find when they play it's so natural and so easy. It nearly goes by itself. So you don't have the feeling you have to work much. It's just you play together, you enjoy the music, and it's the better the people are, the easier it gets, I would say.
Oh, okay. So it's like a very big pleasure you are trying to say, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
okay.
now, if you speak especially of, for example, of Vilde and Lars, they're just, were in Lars, just really wonderful persons and nice, nice people. So it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I think Vilde is amazing, right? I think just listening to her recordings, so I received some questions from your fans. We have a question from a Malaysian bassoonist. His name is Stephen Mark. He asked, what are some of the important unspoken orchestra etiquettes musicians should be aware of?
Unspoken orchestra etiquettes. Well, I think like number one rule is be friendly, be calm. And I think it's best if you behave in orchestra like in the chamber music group, that the first thing is to make music together. And of course you have a conductor in front who is giving the general line, of course.
Direction,
the general direction.
Yeah.
But talk to your colleagues, be open, don't talk too much. And I think it's many things, and not too much, not to the like asking things, or I think it's on a social side is, of course, be aware like of the situation you are in. Like, how do you behave if people not so well, or maybe then a bit better, like then you can be more open or a bit, yeah, less open if you don't know them so well, but always be friendly and yeah, and feel that you are part of a group. And on a musical line, it's, I think also in musical it can be like a good conversation where you sometimes maybe have that sometimes you have a strong, that you really want to say something, and then of course you listen and you play together, so that it's always very lively and natural in the playing together. That of course when you are a principal bassoonist, you are not always leading, and you're a second bassoonist, you are not always following, so always do what the music demands from you.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, I see what you mean. So we also have some questions from Christian Omar Ronas. He says that why does the tenor joint on your bassoon look different from the rest of the instrument?
Yeah, so this one here, yeah?
Yeah, yes.
It's, in the slides it's not so different, but yeah, maybe you can see a bit.
Yes,
like
yeah.
These two colors are different.
Yes, yeah.
So it's not a very long story, but I have this bassoon here for quite a few years, and there were some things I weren't too happy with, and then I looked for a new bassoon actually, and a friend of mine sold this, which is another 15,000 Heckel.
Yeah.
And this bassoon from this is the complete opposite. So this one had all things I looked for, but it also didn't have all the advantages of this bassoon. And it was just a stupid idea, but as it was a friend of mine who sold it, we thought, okay, let's just try, and but the good things of both bassoons together would be perfect. And yeah, well, here we are. So,
Okay, so it works to have a hybrid. Like,
yeah.
Fancy that. Okay, because
Yeah.
I know clarinet players do that a lot, right? Clarinets
Do they?
always, yeah, they always change the barrel or the bell. I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is and somehow it just fitted in as well. I had to change a little bit this, but apart from this, it was very fine. The other combination, the other way around, so this bassoon with this wing joint also works quite well. A friend of mine plays this, so it's not lying in the corner unplayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and your friend have this hybrid bassoon. Okay. I think he also asked, why or how did you add an extra strap to the Zapatini or something like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I have it here.
Yeah.
So this is the Zapatini as you know it, yeah, and
Yeah.
then indeed I added an extra strap here.
Oh,
at
yeah?
the-
Okay.
yeah, like this,
Uh-huh.
and because I felt, let's see, maybe I can show it.
Okay. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
So I have this extra strap here at the back,
Uh-huh.
like this.
Uh-huh, yes.
Yeah, because I always felt that it that the strap goes a little bit too much down after playing,
Yeah.
and or when you continue playing, it goes down, and then I added this strap here because I felt that it holds it more into position, and it refers the pressure to more places, so it gives an extra hold from the
see.
back. Yeah,
More stability at the back.
more stability. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was using Zapatini, but I changed to the saxophone strap because it takes more weight off the body, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's actually a big improvement of it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you're sitting, does it take
I
take the
mean,
weight? Yeah.
sitting and standing doesn't make a big difference. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And then his last question was, what are your thoughts on making a reed project but keeping the dark and robust sound? So, what kind of reed do you use when you play as a soloist with a large orchestra? Yeah.
Well, it means that's what we are all looking for, isn't it?
Yes, soloistic reed.
So I mean, so in general, I use so that's a reed of mine. I use a Riga 2 shape,
Okay.
and now that's a Lavoro cane, but I
Okay.
use different canes. I also use Riga and Marignan, so it's a mix. And okay, now this is dry, but you can see it's quite closed,
Okay.
not very open, and I use quite hard cane,
Okay.
and I look for vibration indeed. And if the cane is hard enough, then it keeps the sound. And if I would build my reeds with soft cane, then they would sound too bright. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So I look for vibrating reeds and a lot of equality. So my reeds are all rather plain, and not too much like this, as well in this dimension, and as well also in this. So I always look for straight lines in this direction, also here from the middle to the
Yeah.
sides.
Uh-huh.
And of course I do a core in the front, yes, but it's all rather equal, I would say.
Okay. Riga too. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
a bit slimmer with sandpaper, but still Riga too.
Oh, okay. I like the Meckler shape. Yeah.
Pardon?
I like the Meckler shape. Yeah. Meckler, the little bit tulip shape. Yeah.
I think I never tried it, but yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. So we're coming to the last few questions. So it's a bit more fun now. So
All right.
could you name us one fun fact about yourself that not many people know about?
About myself,
Yeah, a fun
yeah.
fact. Yeah.
One of my hobbies is sewing clothes.
Oh,
I enjoy very much.
oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah,
would not have imagined that. Oh, okay. So
it's a bit like reed making.
oh, okay. What do you sew? Like a shirt or?
Yeah, like or a skirt or a simple dress for my wife, things like this.
Oh,
Or of course altering things like making trousers shorter, things like this.
wow. Can you also do curtains?
Yes, I did our curtains. Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Very handy. Okay. I know summer is approaching soon, right? Now it's spring. Yeah. So if it's the summer holidays, do you prefer to go to the mountains or to the seaside?
I prefer the mountains.
Ah, the mountains. Okay. And
Yeah.
if you could only bring three things, what would they be?
Not a bassoon. No, I think I would bring something. I think a good knife and a good pen that I can cook something.
Okay.
Then I would bring a very good book that you can read very many times, like maybe a collection of poems. And third thing, I mean, I would love to have my wife with me, but she's not a thing, of course. So
Yeah, of course.
does that count? Not really. No. And then, you know what? Maybe I would actually take a bassoon with me to have something to do.
Okay. So the person comes along.
Maybe after all, yes.
Yes. Okay. Does it have a name? Do you
My
give your
bassoon, no,
no name? Okay.
nameless bassoon.
And then the last question, what are some projects we can expect from you in the coming year or the months?
I'm working with a couple of composers to get pieces written. One of them, the jazz composer, Hanschel, he has written a duo piece for me, and he's just now writing a new quintet for my wind quintet, the Monet Quintet. And yeah, so we are going to premiere it in June, and hopefully also we are doing a recording. We will do recordings with my quintet. There's a project with my trio. I have a trio with clarinetist and a pianist, so clarinet, bassoon, piano trio. We are having a recording project in autumn, so yeah, I think these are the bigger projects in the future.
Okay, awesome. It was so nice to speak with you. Thanks for your time and input today. Yeah.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.